talking to thin air. Hello. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Sound check, sound check. I was talking for like 30 seconds to thin air, and then I realized I had it on mute. Hi everyone. Hi, Flaming Burrito. Darin. So sorry if I butchered your name. I'm not very good with names. Vertex. At the Dawn. 3D with SB. Hello, everyone. I can hear you. Awesome sound. Sound is important. Is there an echo? Because the last time there was an echo. I just want to double check. Does it sound like I'm in a stadium or like a real live stream? No echo. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, we're ready then. Yes, Chickenzilla. It was the original plan was to be Oliverzilla, the teddy bear, but then my sculpting skills are not up to par. I didn't realize that. ZBrush was one of the first skills that I developed at the beginning, but at the very that's like eons ago. Well, today's topic is rendering water in Karma using MaterialX shaders. So this is exciting. Just because if you actually Google ocean rendering in Karma, most of the videos will show you how to render oceans and water in Karma, but using the Vex shaders. So today I'm going to use the MaterialX shaders, which is the MTLX ones, the newer ones. I'm just going to pop out the chat so I can actually see it. Give me 1 second. Okay. Still have my ZBrush 1 CD. Wow. Wow, you have it on CD. I have the legacy version of ZBrush, so I don't have to actually pay the subscription. I bought it I don't know, a decade ago, I guess. I can't remember when I got it. I got it a long time ago, and back then it was what did they call it? A perpetual license. You only had to pay once, and then Maxon bought Pixelogic, so then we're on subscription. So that sort of sucks, but yeah, I mean, I can't blame the guy. You got to make a living somehow. And whoever was behind the development team of ZBrush never charged a single anything extra for all the features that they ever implemented from the time that you bought it. So that kudos to them. I think that well deserved. Perpetual, yeah. I'm still running on that too. So I just have my notes on the other monitor. So as I said, what's so special about this video is that we're going to use MaterialX to create ocean and water materials, shading for, and what most people use is Vex shaders, just because it's easy. It comes with Houdini. It's built in. If you press, let's see. So there's a sneak peek. This is all the projects that I've prepared. We're probably not gonna get through all of them, but I like to be prepared. So if you go here into geometry and go into this, I think you click on flip configure. Which one was it? Ocean layer? I think it was, which one? I can't remember. Let's try the first one. Give it a second. Okay. And then you go to the matte. No, I guess it wasn't this one. one of these configures will create an ocean material vex shader for you. So a lot of people just copy that and then paste it into the Karma material library, and that works fine. So like, there goes the question, what's the difference between Vex and MaterialX? Why learn something new when you already have something working, right? Well, Vex shading is the old-fashioned material network that we're all used to. That us OGs, I guess. Original users of Houdini, the old user. We're all used to this. It has the principal shader, it has all this stuff. I wonder if they have the ocean here. They have all these built in, and this works fine with Mantra. But now, Mantra has not been great with time, and it doesn't stand up to par with its competitors' rendering engines. So, to solve this problem, SideFX came up with Karma, which uses CPU and GPU. And this is supposed to be the wave of the future for Houdini. Unfortunately, Karma XPU does not work with Vex shaders. So it does pay to learn something new, to learn MaterialX, because that's going to be the wave of the future. And even on SideFX's documentation, they say that Karma XPU will never support the traditional Vex shaders. I'm just going to grab my link. I believe it's this one. Vex. So even on their website, let me make this bigger. Because Karma XPU will never support the traditional Vex shaders, Vex-based shaders used by Mantra and Karma CPU, MaterialX is probably the future of building materials for the Karma renderer. So it does pay to learn the MaterialX. Just gonna go through some of the comments. Still have the last update before the buyout. Yeah, the same here. So I still have the same original ZBrush updated up until Maxon bought it. So I'm still working with that, and it works fine, to be honest. Like, as long as I have the move brush, I think that's like 50% of the sculpting there. Move brush in ZBrush is awesome. I miss only have to pay once. Yes, I miss that too. We have gone into the new age of subscriptions. Everything is subscription based, which is quite annoying. It hurts the wallet. It did not work in Karma XPU. Yeah, Vex. So Vertex is saying it did not work in Karma XPU. I don't think. Are you referring to Vex shaders? So Vex shaders will not work in XPU. Does Houdini have any plugins for Material? It does have that Material by AMD. Let's see. I should have set that up before I started this. Here, let's create a new one, because I don't want to mess up the examples. Let's see. If we come here, Material Linker, that's what it was called. And I believe some time ago, I had downloaded the AMD open source. So the one good thing about MaterialX is that it's open source and it's adopted by many other 3D applications. That means it can be cross-compatible. So it makes the licensing a lot simpler. So all these companies can play nice with each other without suing each other. And it's actually part of the development. SideFX actually participated in part of the development of MaterialX library. So a lot of companies pitched in to develop MaterialX. So this is really cool. let me put a sphere. Let's do. Now this is by default. There is one by AMD. Open AMD MaterialX library. Okay. Oh, where did I put it? 1 second. I have to find it. Houdini. Oh, here it is. Not good enough? There you go. And then you have to download it, but it's free. Now I don't remember where the download link was. I'll go and check that out after the stream is ended, and I'll post it on this in the description of this video afterwards. But after you download it, you get all these materials for free because it's open source. So what is cool about this is that whatever you make in Houdini, these materials can be ported and translated into another 3D environment, so you don't have to set up everything. Well, another 3D application that supports MaterialX, so they have to support it. But it's becoming a thing. It's becoming a trend, so more and more applications are getting it. With the exception, if you ever use Karma nodes, so the MaterialX material by itself is very powerful, but it's also missing. SideFX noticed that it's missing a few nodes that we would like to have, like the camera ray, camera angle. If you ever want to know what the vector between the camera and to your object is, so for lightings, for tricks in lighting, for material shading and nodes like that, SideFX made Karma nodes, special additional nodes on top of the MaterialX. Once you start using those, then it's not cross-compatible because that's a Houdini thing. I'm just gonna show you really quickly because this is important. So you have your Karma. This is the Karma material builder. This has MaterialX nodes and Karma, the additional Karma nodes. This is a Houdini thing. And you have your MaterialX. So this is the MaterialX thing. If I throw this down, go into it, and I type Karma, nothing will come up because whatever you build in here should be cross-compatible with other 3D applications that support MaterialX. Now, let's go back up here and go like Karma Material Builder. This one. Now let's go in here and then go Karma. So you can see that we have all these additional nodes at our disposal. Now this is a Houdini thing, remember that. So hopefully that answers your question with the plugins. It's not exactly a plugin, it's more like additional materials. ZBrush UI sucks, but ZBrush is different. The UI or the keystrokes are actually designed so that when you're sculpting, it's designed to fit in minimize your hand movement. It is weird at the beginning, I will admit that. Like there's no logic to it except for the position of the keys on the keyboard to your hand. It is right hand based though, I will say that. So I don't know how it works with left-handers, because if you use your left hand on, so you have your right hand on the tablet pen, your left hand is on the keyboard, and the keystrokes in ZBrush are designed so that to minimize the movement of your left hand. It's actually very uniquely designed. Not many applications actually do that. But once you start using it, it becomes muscle memory. I remember learning it like years ago, and I still remember those keys. Well, I use the move brush a lot though. ZBrush UI is really awesome. Where did I? But once you get, yeah, that's, yeah, same. Says ZBrush UI stinks, but once you get it, it kind of becomes natural. Same here. I feel the same thing. At the beginning, it is hard just because there's no logic to it. But once you use it, it's like, oh, okay, it fits with my hand. It's like a glove. It fits in really perfectly. ZBrush UI is really awesome and easy to customize. It is. You can customize it. That's one thing I really like. But I do find that if I customize the ZBrush UI, I tend to forget where the original position of the buttons are. So I kind of force myself to remember where it is originally. Otherwise, I'll never be able to find it. The one beef I have about ZBrush is that it doesn't have a search feature. So a lot of applications nowadays, even Blender has like a search feature. So if they had that, that would be awesome. So I can at least find it and then remember where it is. Thanks. Yep, no problem. What kind of tablet do you use with ZBrush? At the beginning, I used this really, like, we're talking about years ago. I had bought this really cheap Wacom bamboo. It was the cheapest tablet I could ever find. It was enormous though, for me, in my sense. It had an enormous drawing area and it was really cheap. So I was like, okay, well, I was just starting out. Well, actually, I started out in Blender, but at the beginning, when I started out in Blender, it didn't have a sculpting capabilities yet. And now then afterwards, a few years ago, I found this Wacom, what is it called? I forgot what it was called. It was another cheap tablet, but it was really small because I stopped ZBrushing for a while. And then as of recently, I bought this Huon tablet, another affordable tablet, because I'm not a professional sculptor. I'm still in the learning phase, so I don't want to invest too much into it. Maybe one day. The Huon one is really affordable for the drawing area you get, for best bang for your buck. The Wacom tablets are too expensive. They're just too expensive. What is your real passion? Are you an FS artist? I would like to call myself that one day, an FX artist. I don't know if I'm there yet because I didn't really actually go to an official school or anything. Everything is self-taught, so I don't know when I can be an official. I don't know how do you officiate yourself? I don't know when you cross that line. When you actually graduate to that. Because you're always, I'm always learning by myself, so I'm not sure. I hope that one day I can be. Okay, let's go back to this water rendering. MaterialX. So MaterialX is definitely the wave of the future. It is one more thing to learn. I understand that, but because even SideFX says that they're not gonna really support the Vex shaders, it is time to move forward to MaterialX. So I did a lot of experimentation with MaterialX and water, trying to get the renders. Some of you might have noticed some of the community posts that I had. It's like, which one looks better? I was really surprised when some of you were voting for, let me just pull it up. And I'll talk about those renders first. So this picture was more popular than the rest. Let me get my fancy arrow. So this one was a little more popular than the rest of them. This one actually, so with rendering water, what is really important is depth. And how do you get depth in water? Because water materials are just transparent, they're translucent. This picture doesn't have any depth to it. In order to fake depth, you have to add another volume material on top of your translucent material, your water material. And that will give you this one. This one has a bit of there's a volume in it, and there's a bit of depth, so you can't see the chicken as clear. It's sort of disappearing as it goes deeper into the water, and that's sort of like what it is with water. So I was really surprised when everyone liked option 2 more. I was even more surprised that option 3 beat option 1 because option 3 has nothing to do with water. The chicken is a very good rig. So this chicken rig was I got from SideFX's website on their content library. It's an example file that SideFX used to demonstrate their Apex system. It's an amazing rig. So at the beginning, I was a little hesitating with Apex because it's so complicated, but after using this rig, I kind of fell in love with Apex. So that will be my next obsession in the next following weeks from now. It seems really, really cool. I want to create rigs like this. It all started with me needing a really quick animation to collide with the water, and then sidetracked into Apex. Let's see. Okay. Let's look at the material. So, as you can let's see. Let me increase this. Increase the real estate. We don't need this. Okay. Just gonna zoom in. Just give a little bit of time for my machine to catch up. So you can sort of see, it's pretty clear that you can make out most of the chicken. I think my machine is still thinking. Maybe I will make this. Okay, it's taking too long. I'll just make it smaller. So you can sort of make it out. You can make out the outline of the chicken. I wanted to show you a comparison with the volume and without the volume. So I just want to let it load just a bit more. Okay. So this is, maybe I'll just create a snapshot. Old old-fashioned Windows snip. Okay. And now I want to take out the volume. I'm just gonna, which is this one. This is the volume. So I'm just gonna take it out. Wow, did that kick it? Oh, I don't think it was even enabled. Let's see. Ah, it's sticking. Water. Disable the water. Oh, it looks the same. Let me take another snip. So this is no fog. I'm drawing with the mouse. Forgive me. Okay. Now let's put the fog back in. Okay. Let's go in here. Which one was the one I used? Water, Karma Uniform Fog. Karma Uniform Fog. Oh, the density is really low. Increase it. I wonder why it won't kick. Water volume. Water volume. Oh, this is the wrong one. Sorry. I'm rendering this one. when I'm configuring this one. Okay, that's why it won't work. Let's grab another shot. let's put it over here. Top shot. This one, actually. This one. No, stop. This is the one. Okay, then I have to use the 82. Bear with me 1 second. I was rendering this. I was rendering this guy over here, but then I was configuring all these nodes over here. So it was like 2 different branches. I have too many versions. In order to prepare for this water, all the research I did for the water thing, I did so many versions. I found out a few tricks though. So 1 second. There is one thing that you need to know about rendering rendering volumes with XPU. You have to actually enable it in order to work. So at the beginning, if you just throw on a Karma volume shader onto your object, and you turn on XPU, you won't see anything. It won't look right. And that's because you have to enable it. And you have to enable it in the right place. So at the beginning, I was enabling it in the wrong place, and I thought it wasn't working, or I thought it wasn't implemented or something. Or it could have been 3 a.m. I had a lot of things on my mind. Mostly being really, really tired. But then I realized you have to enable it. Okay, this should be the one with fog then. I have the render flag here. Okay. Just double check. Fog. Okay. Now let me get another snippet, and I'll show you how to enable the fog for XPU. This should have fog. I think. It's a little clear though. I wonder if I did anything else wrong. Uniform density 1. Let me just try and do something crazy just to check if it's working. Oh, why doesn't it kick? I don't think I have the right one because it's not kicking it. It's not kickstarting it, sorry. Materials uniform fog. I do have this one, right? This is the right line. Here, let's just go here. Okay. Okay. Okay, our chicken's missing. There's our chicken. Volume fog. Let me see if this is loading. This is not loading. Okay. That's my problem. Ooh, the cache. Not finding it. Oh no. Okay, let's ditch the cache. So whenever you have anything, debugging tips, backtrack. Okay. I think I broke the cache sometime. Probably at 3 a.m. Okay, now it's loading. Okay, gonna slowly step forward. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, and then the chicken. Okay, I think the fog is working now. Oh, I can't find it. Okay, well, yes, I think it's working now because I can barely see the chicken. Okay, let's go back in here. And let's go in here and let's make this 0.1. Okay, now it's kickstarting it. Okay. Just give it a second. Okay, I'm gonna take a snapshot. This is fog 0.1 density. I'm gonna do, I don't know, 10. Exaggerate. I'm trying to exaggerate it so you can see that it's real estate. Okay. So the bottom one is 0.1 density. The one at the top is density of 10. So you can see that you can't even, I'm covering it up. This part, you can really tell that the fog is actually covering it up. Now 10 is not a good number. Don't put 10 unless it works for your scene. But I'm trying to exaggerate the effect. So you can see that as you get closer to the top of the surface, you can see the object more clearly. But the body or the torso of the chicken, you can't see that clearly because the fog is covering it up, and that gives you a depth look or a perception of depth so that the water is how deep. It gives the sense of depth to the viewer, so it looks like it's really, really deep. Now, I'm using XPU. If you just throw on... Now, I'm going to talk about how to enable it. Oops. How to enable fog with XPU. First, I want to show you... Oops. Okay. So let's just take this fog. So this is our fog. I'm going to copy this over. We're going to focus on this. I'm going to do a material library. So I'm still on XPU. Let me switch to GL. Let's make a Karma smoke material. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to over here, you can click, expand the material, click and drag it over to the volume. Well, I only have one object here, so it makes it easy. Then it'll create this assign material. Let's enable the XPU. You won't see anything, but we need a dome light. Let's put a skylight. I find that the skylight is really weak. But it's not working. Not work. Oh, okay. Give it a second. It's not working. Not really. Let's go to CPU. All looks the same actually. Let's change the color. Okay. Now let's go to XPU. Oh, it does work. It's really weird. I think because at the beginning, I might have used this material to do my testing. Volume, MaterialX. Well, it still works. Could have swear it wasn't working for me until I read in documents that you have to actually enable it for XPU. You have to throw down this render geometry settings node. Go into it, and you have to, let's see. So up here, you have to choose the volume object. So this was really important too. You have to actually choose the volume object and then enable it in here in order to get the XPU to work. I don't know why it's working right now. And then set this. So this is where you have to enable it. And it wasn't working for me until I enabled this over here. Otherwise, it was just working in CPU at the beginning. I don't know why it's working now. I wonder if it's because I enabled it on the bottom. But now CPU is not working. So this was what I was getting in the middle of the night when I was doing XPU. But right now I actually have CPU on. Let's try. This is a little wacky right now. Let's disable it. That is weird. Now it stopped working. Now it stopped working entirely for CPU. Okay, I don't know. This is weird. I think I should have created a new LOPnet. It's getting, I think the settings down here, like all the setup I did down here is messing up the example up there. But okay, if you ever throw on a volume material on an object and you want to use XPU and it's not working for you, just come over here and drop down a render geometry settings node. Specify your object. So that's very important. You have to actually specify it. And then enable it. Yeah, it's really funky right now. I don't know. I think I should have created a new LOPnet. There's my 2 cents. So I shouldn't have erased that. There was one more thing. At the beginning, I was enabling it in here. So there's actually in the volume shader, in the volume material, if you go in, there's actually a material property that was enabling it in here and thinking that it would work, but this didn't work for me. Apparently, I don't know why. Maybe it's just a little funky. It wasn't working for me in enabling it here. So just FYI, if this control over here ever gives you a headache, you try a render geometry settings node. Okay, just gonna check the comments. Let's see, a few. Awkward Polly. I love that name. If you make FX, you FX artist. Aw. That's awesome. Flaming Burrito, you're a real FX artist. Oh, you guys are so sweet. 3D with SB. I learned Houdini from your videos. Thanks for that. Oh, thank you for watching. Gregory Bennings. Apex is quantum physics brain surgery. Oh yes, I got that same sense when I first saw it. It was in their demo. It was so complex. There's so many nodes. It literally does look like brain surgery with all the lines going everywhere. It looks like the human nervous system in the brain. Awkwardly Polly, I know there's a way in Karma to make a snapshot. Do you remember? Oh, I was thinking about that when I did the sniff. I was like, oh, I should have used the Karma snapshot. I still haven't figured everything out in Karma. That'd probably be the more professional way to do it, using their built-in capture system in Karma, because they can tell you all these statistics, CPU usage, frame, all the metadata that comes with it. I don't know, my brain hurts after this. This is what I have to deal with in the past 2 weeks. All this, like, click this button, it doesn't work, click that button, it doesn't work, why? Is like, why? But then you do something else and then it works. Like, this is what I had to deal with. I believe it's because LopNet or Solaris is built on like, it doesn't matter how you merge these nodes together, they're not separated by branches as to what we're used to in SOPs. So in SOPs, we're used to this being a branch, this being a branch, and this being a branch, and everything being separate. It's actually kind of mixed in together, I found. So it doesn't matter how you merge it. It everything works at the end. And then I'm like, I can't wrap my head around it. I can't even describe it. It's just a little weird. There's no, like, I would expect this node to inherit everything from that node, like from the one above it, and to have some sort of downstream going, but it doesn't always do that sometimes. But sometimes it does, and then I can't figure everything out. And to make my life even more complicated, there are actually parameters in Karma that are not implemented, which was very frustrating at 3 a.m. because I'm fiddling around with these parameters and I'm wondering if I'm going blind, and if there's like a slight small change that I'm not noticing because I'm just way too tired or I'm just blind. But then I slept on it, and the next morning I realized in their documentation that some of these are not actually implemented. Like these ones. And I'm like, what? After, playing around with it. Some of them aren't, but when you're that late at night, I can't tell the difference between what's what anymore. So just the FYI, check out the docs before playing around with it, or if anything goes wrong and you're curious why it's happening, look at the docs. Some of them aren't implemented. I just wish they'd remove or maybe hide the parameter. But there's my 2 cents. Let me check out the comments. I don't plan next to scene graph layers, check the plus sign out. Oh, I should do that. So sorry. I'll remember to check to be more pro next time on that, on the Karma snapshot. How to make matte object in Karma. Like a plastic mat. You can actually use the AMD material library that I showed at the beginning. No, maybe at the end, if we have time, I'll show you that. But because this session is mainly about water rendering, so we're going to focus on that. I don't want to get too sidetracked. I usually get really sidetracked, so I don't want to go too far. New panel types, layers, render gallery. New panel type. I think you're talking about, the capture feature in Karma. I will remember that for the next session. I'll practice first. Anyone had a problem where stop importing a volume just doesn't appear in OpenGL of Solaris? It renders if switched to Karma. I had that a lot too. Sometimes it's a broken link, like a broken file cache, like what I experienced just now. But sometimes it just doesn't come up. What I find is that if it doesn't come up, you can always select it though. It will highlight it. If you select it in the scene graph, if you select it in the scene graph, it'll create this light orange highlight in the viewport. So if you select it here, that can give you an indication that something is loaded. But sometimes, like what I was, if you have a broken link or anything, or you typed in the wrong SOP path, then it won't work. Like then it's literally not loading. Tom Koshwa, hello. Can't wait for your Apex explorations. Oh, I can't wait too. I was playing around with that chicken rig and I fell in love. That's a really awesome rig. Everyone should go and check it out. It's so fun. Am I late? Well, you can always replay. No problem. Will this live be uploaded to the channel later? It should be. Oh, that reminds me. I forgot to record. It's okay. It's on the cloud. It's on YouTube. I can download it later. I keep forgetting to click the record one. For snapshots, it's the little camera on the roll. The tool sound on the left is very good. I will check that out. Solaris itself was making my head explode. Solaris is, once you understand it, it's very powerful. And there's one motivation in learning, an additional motivation to tell you to learning Solaris. Now, Solaris is made for big studios with like dozens of teams collaborating. So you have like your VFX team, your lighting team, your modeling, sculpting team, and you have the director and supervisor. Solaris, I believe a lot of larger studios will use Solaris. So if you ever want to go pro, if you ever want to go into the VFX industry, Solaris you'll definitely impress your employer with Solaris if you tell them that you know Solaris. If that company uses Houdini, given. Because it's built for collaboration. It is complicated, but it's complicated for a reason, because they need different ways for the director or the supervisor to manage all the assets that everyone puts into the scene. So all these stop imports, say this is like from the modeling team. This one here is from the sculpting team, and this one here is from, I don't know, the lighting team or whatnot. And then you in each of these SOP imports, you'll see there's a load as reference. What else? Reference, pay, this reference type. And this is this option here, the reference type, the weaker payload, weaker reference, stronger reference. Each one defines how important this asset is and how it can be overwritten. Say the director, supervisor comes on, I don't like the color or whatever I don't like, the size, or it should inherit everything from, say this was made by a junior artist, and there are certain things that they like about this object, the supervisor likes about this object, but there are certain things that he or she doesn't like and would like to be overwritten by the senior artist's submission. So you have two of them, you have a junior and a senior, and then one overwrites another, and the supervisor can just merge it together and have one overwrite the other, but not overwrite everything. So it is complicated for a reason. I do have a HDA that I give out for my perk members that simplifies a very basic Solaris setup. It's called like the quick material creator. Was it create simple Karma material? And it just gives you a really basic setup with a single material importing color. So if you like that, you can check that out. Let's see. So there's my 2 cents about Solaris. I know I'm getting a little sidetracked. I'm just gonna go over these comments and then we're gonna get back to water rendering. Anyone had a problem? Let's see, Apex. Solaris making my head well. How to apply basic liquid in Karma XPU? Yeah, that's what we're going over. That arrow is huge. Yeah, I like my arrows. So you know where to look at. It's to get your attention. It's like, look here. Chicken rolls. Awesome. Okay, let's go back to water. Oh, I love the chicken one. I do. Flaming burrito. I really do like the chicken. Because the fins, well, my original idea was to make Godzilla. But then, yeah, my sculpting wasn't up to par. So the chicken was a nice substitute. And the fins worked well because it's sticking out of the water just a bit. Oh, I think I messed up my setup. Let's see. I turned up the density, so let me go back in and turn it back down. Let's go 0.2. Okay. Give it a second. So, what else? Okay, let's go over a quick water material. Let's see. Just want to look at my notes if I missed anything. Yeah, let's go. Now I'm just going to copy all these SOP imports and I'm going to create a new LOPnet. Let's go back up. Let's go in here, LOPnet. And I'm going to paste it in just because I'm lazy. Let me double check. There's your chicken. Water. And what is this? This is the water mesh. So this is the water mesh. This is the water volume. Oh, let me show you how to make a water volume. Okay, let me take that out. So this here. Okay, let me go up. I think that's pretty good. So this here is your flip simulation. Come out here, you have your particles. Come on, load. Give it a second. So this, the flip solver will give you particles. Come on. Oh, sorry, it's simulating. Let me go to my cache. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this will give you particles. You can see the form of the chicken, the shape of the chicken because it's underwater and colliding with the sim. Now from this, you feed it into a particle fluid surface to get a mesh. If you don't have a mesh, you can't apply a material on it. You need a water material onto it. So you have to convert it into a mesh. So the particles don't help until you create some form of geometry. This takes a while to load. There you go. There's your mesh. Let me show you some of the settings. So this is using a surface polygon soup. So the polygon soup is like an optimized version of Houdini's polygons geometry, you don't have to use that. You can just use the regular surface polygons. This is just more optimized. It should optimize the performance and speed it up just a bit. I believe it saves RAM. Now, if you wanted, you can create a surface VDB, which is a volume. However, I found that this surface VDB doesn't really work with the Karma Pyro solver, but I don't know. It could have been late, and Karma could be playing tricks on my head. So what I did was, well, okay, this mesh, I would throw on a translucent material on it. Then I need to create a water volume to get that depth. So I'm just going to show you how I created the stop geometries, and then we're going to jump back into Karma. So here, I have that VDB. I converted the VDB into an Houdini volume, I guess you would call it. Here, I'll show you this one. Okay. Here, I'll have it side by side like this. So this is the particle fluid surface, which is a VDB. And you can see, here, let me highlight this. Oh. Okay, one second. This is... Sorry, I'm just fiddling around with my arrows. Okay, that's not working out. But here you'll see a volume, a VDB, and this one has a volume. So I couldn't get the rectangle exactly here. There's something wrong with the position on my script. I have to update the script. Anyways, this one, the particle surface will give you a VDB. I had trouble with the VDB in Karma, so I took that and created an ISO offset. That gives me the old-fashioned Houdini volume. This worked nicely for me. Then we have both the mesh and the volume. Then we feed both of that into lops. So this is the chicken. Let's just move that out. Volume. Let me just label these. Mesh. And chicken. Okay, let me put the mesh over here. Okay. Now, let's go like this. Let's merge these two together. Now let's throw on a material library. Go in. We'll need a Karma material builder. This will be for the mesh. Pyro smoke. Oops. Volume. Go back up. Gonna highlight this. Come over here. Click this, drag it over. Click this, drag it over to assign it. It'll create this new assign material node. We are on XPU already. I actually forgot to turn it off. Let's add some lighting. I'm going to use a dome light this time. Okay, maybe not. Because then I need HDR for the dome light. Let's give this 3. Okay. Now let's go into the material now. Now, have it render flag on this guy. And then come over to the material. Let's deal with the mesh first. Now, I don't have displacement, so I'm just going to put this over here. So this is the only one we need right now. Now, the water actually has, because it's coming from a flip sim, it actually has velocity. So we can use a geometry property value. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to grab a glass of water. Okay. Now, if we look here into our geometry, let's click that water mesh here. Should I highlight? Do you need that big arrow? So highlight the water, scene graph, layers. What won't you tell me? The details of the geometry should come up. I don't know why it's not loading. Yeah, it's not loading. There should be a volumes. Let me switch on that. Oh, there it goes. Well, there should be a velocities. I want to show you the attributes that get imported into Solaris. It's important because it changes the naming. What was velocity used to be like V or vel becomes velocities in here. I don't know why it's not showing up though. Okay, let me go back there. Did I load it? One second. This is just my desktop layout. I'm not sure why it's not loading that. It usually just appears right here. Maybe I just open another one. Nope. Well, okay, let's just march on. I really wanted to show you that attribute. I'm not sure why it's not working. Span tree on selective. Could be an issue in SOP's import. I thought so, but okay. But this is literally just copied over from the other one. Or maybe that's why. The link might have broke. This is the original setup. No, this is not working either. Everything stops working when you do a live. It's the law of the universe. Isn't that great? I wonder if I've broken cache. Anyways, but here, let me show you some of the attributes in the SOP. So we're in the SOP. I gotta get rid of my arrow. We're in the SOP. And it's not showing the velocities. That could be it. it's vel. Here it's in, so the cache is still working. That's good. The cache has the vel right. Oh, now I need the arrow. So the cache has the vel, but I seem to have lost it after I applied the particle fluid's surface. It might, but V here, I guess you need vel. VDB. I wonder if it's because of this. Nope. I'm trying to trigger it to update. Sometimes the drop downs in Houdini is a little funky. You have to like fiddle around with it to make it update. But I don't think that's the case here. It is getting a V. So we are getting velocity, some sort of velocity. It is not transferring to... Now I know I'm getting velocity because this is the original LopNet setup. Here, I'm getting a variety of color, a variety of shading of blue. So I know the velocity is imported in here. So the water here, because I'm doing this, there's velocity. That is what it was supposed to be named. And then I'm doing MTL distance here, just because I need the magnitude of the velocity. I only need the speed. I actually don't need the velocity. Velocity itself has direction. So you're either going, north, east, west, south, left, right. There's some sort of direction, but I don't need that. I just need, if it's really fast, give it a lighter shade of blue. So that's what I pipe it into a color ramp. So this over here is the fastest speed of water. Will get that color. And this one over here is the probably like 0 speed. So the distance, this distance, is just calculating. It's sort of like a cheat because I couldn't find an MTLX magnitude. Oh, there is a magnitude. Oh my God. We can use magnitude because that will strip out the direction. It'll strip out the direction and only give us the actual speed in velocity. Give it a second. So there's no change because this MTLX distance was calculating the distance between two vectors. And I'm just calculating the distance between the 0, 0, 0 vector. So that's sort of like cheating because I know that all the velocities will have are normalized. That gets way into vectors, but when all your vectors are normalized, they begin at the 0, 0, 0 position. So when I calculate the distance, I only get the magnitude. It's just a little cheat because I think it was late at night and I couldn't find this magnitude node. So I just used this guy. We don't need that guy. The magnitude is better. And I used this color. So this is the velocity translated into shades of blue. And that's translated into driving all this color over here. Color transmission. This scatter, well, I don't think this is even implemented. I didn't know that at the beginning. Give it a second. Yeah, it looks the same. So this is just driving the color transmission and the base color. I don't know how much of the base color you see because the transmission is 0.9. I left 0.1 just because I wanted a bit of that toony feel. If we do all 1, I think it looks more shiny. Yeah, it looks more reflective, looks more shiny now. I really should do that little... What did someone said it was on... There's a camera? Oh, this guy? I wonder if this guy... Okay, anyways, I'll figure it out after. I'll stick with my snip. I just wanted to get a shot. I know, this is not very fancy. So this is the one with transmission of 1. Now let's go back here and give it 0.9. So this one over here... So this one over here is a bit more shiny. It looks more like water actually, but that's not what I was going for. In order to, the chicken is a little toony, is very toon shady. So I went with the 0.9. The 0.9 gave me a better feel, which is this one. So the 0.9 gave me a better feel. The completely translucent is not that great. Not for me. Not for this scene, at least. Let's see. So I'm just gonna copy this node over. I'm not sure why we couldn't see the attribute. Or I'm not, did I just not click that button? Okay, I think I just not clicked. Okay, let's go back. Now, I was going to recreate that whole thing until I couldn't find that attribute. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, it was just this button. I thought I did enable it. Okay, anyways. Come over here, click this. Then go to the scene. It's really important that you have to click this first. And then come to the scene graph details. Remember to enable this. And let's expand this. Velocity should be here somewhere. Just give me 1 second. Here it is. There's velocities. So in order to use that, I'm just going to go in here, go into the material library, and we're going to finish setting the water mesh up. So we have our, let me just drop this down one more time. MTLX geometry property value. So we're going to import that velocities attribute into Solaris, or into the material actually. Now come here. Velocities, because that's what it was translated to. So it's no longer vel. Or it's no longer V, it's velocities. That Solaris automatically translates that name for you. So you need to be aware of these things. There's actually a list of things. I think I have the link in my notes. Just give me a second. Where is it? Okay, I'll find that link and post it up a little later. So we have that velocities. Let me here, and then I'm gonna go. So velocity is a vector. You can see here it says it's a vector 3. So we have to choose vector 3 here to match what we're getting. Otherwise, weird rounding and casting is going to happen in the software. Then we're going to use magnitude. I'm going to pipe it in because I don't really want the direction. I only want the magnitude of the velocity. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to feed it into a ramp. Remember to use the right ramp. This one, the Karma ramp constant. This one is let's see. This one is to create a parameter. So just use the Karma ramp. Again, it's this one. So let's pipe this in to transmission. Let's pipe it into the color, just the base color for now, because I haven't made it translucent yet. Let's back up. Now I want to get rid of all this yellow highlight. Come over here. Click this. Clicks like this, the favorites here. That'll get rid of that highlight. I'm gonna give it a weird color so we know it's working. Infrared? Yeah, there you go. So we know it's working. Now you don't want this. For water, you don't want this. But it's just for testing. Now you can see, well, yeah, actually you can't, because we don't have anything in it. Now let's add the chicken in, and then we can start to make it translucent or transparent, because I need something in it. Otherwise you won't see anything. Now where's that chicken? Let's add the chicken in. Let's go into material library. Oh, actually, okay, the chicken material is a little tricky. When you download that chicken rig, it doesn't come with MTLX, MaterialX materials. It actually comes with Vex MatNet materials, Mantra materials. So I had to translate it, which isn't, it's not difficult. It's just I don't want to do it live. It's something bad is gonna happen if I do it live. So the only parts of the chicken that have materials assigned are everything but the eyes. And they have a texture. The textures are like 3 gigs. It's very high quality texture. And then I created this. I actually used my HDA to create this, so I didn't have to set it up manually. And all you have to do is just link it. It is UDIM. Let me actually show you the material. But I'm not going to actually set it up because, yeah, something's bad's about to happen if I do that live. No, where's the chicken? Oh, where are you? Oh, here's the chicken. Let me sort it by type. So this is all the chicken materials up to here. The rat files are what Houdini generates after the first time you render. So that's the, I'm guessing it's to pre-compile the shaders. It's an optimization thing. I do find that if you ever wanted to update these textures, it's very hard once you're already running the rendering. There is a way to update the texture. So what I like to do sometimes when I'm working on an object, I like to jump back and forth between Substance Painter and Houdini. However, updating the textures, when I export the textures, it will just drop it into the same folder. Houdini doesn't pick up those changes right away. There is a way to update the textures in here somewhere. If I can just remember where the option is. Once you're in Karma, which I am right now. Oh, here it is. Render update textures. Once you click this, and I think if you just reset Karma over here, you don't have to exit out of the Houdini application. It'll just update the textures for you. So that is very handy. This is based, and again, sidetracked. Chicken textures, UDIM. You can just set it up in here using your good old MTLX. This here, this is what I want to show you, is how you set up UDIMs. So you have your base color, which is the name. This is the file name. So it's base color. So it's this to here. It's all these ones. Ugh. Okay. So it's this one. Oh, I lost the... Okay, there we go. So this represents the number in the middle here. This is a Houdini variable that Karma will understand. So you don't have to you can't just plug in 1001 into the file name in Karma. It won't work because that's only a portion of the texture. You want to grab all of it, but you need to tell Karma where that number is in the file name. So that's what this is for. This is like, it'll dynamically detect that portion of the texture. I hope that makes sense. And I have my base, roughness, metal. So this was done manually. This was done with my HDA to set it up. And then these two are actually not textures. They're just colors. This is just white. Nothing special. All default. The only thing I don't think I even changed the color because it was just white. I changed the specular to 0.7 because I didn't want it that shiny. And then the eyeball, all I did was change it to black. And the specular 0.8. The eyeball of the chicken, go up, go up, go up. The chicken is actually in a different, over here. Where did I put the chicken? Over here. Okay, so you have to specify the eye. I put it into a group. Where are you? There you go. Now I did not manually select the eyeball. It was actually, where did I grab it? I cheated. I came over here into this part is the default setup from the original chicken rig. So I grabbed part of that in here. They have the eyeball. I found the eyeball. They had it somewhere. And I just grabbed the point numbers. I don't remember where I got these numbers. Like this is the primitive numbers. I grabbed somewhere in the chicken rig itself, so I didn't have to manually select the eyeballs. But anyways, after you group those, I applied names to it, so I could easily assign materials to those particular parts. Solaris is all based on name attributes. So if you give it a name attribute, you can be able to select each part. So I have the body, eye, ball, and iris. So these are the ones I made. Those two are whatever's left over from the original chicken rig. And all this gets piped into Solaris so I can create the MTLX materials all over again and assign the eyes the eyeballs. So, okay, so let's, okay. So I'm just gonna go to my original setup for the chicken. I'm just gonna cheat and copy this setup so I don't have to redo this live. You don't want to watch me do it live. Paste this in. We're gonna assign this to the chicken. Okay. So this is running MTLX. Materials. Come over here. Yeah, where's our chicken? Okay, so he's in the middle. So we can't see the chicken just because he's in the water. So now we can start making the water transparent. So I'm just going to check the comments. Gulhemi? I'm so sorry if I got your name wrong. Could be an issue with SOP import? Oh, I think it is. I don't remember. Oh, right. I think I know what you're talking about. The button. When you click this, the mesh, there was that button. You have to click over here, this button. Oh, let me grab my arrow. That button. You have to click this button. So I had this clicked. Clicking this will give you a detailed list of the velocities. I believe that's what you're talking about. Sorry. I should have checked the comments a bit more. Does it work like a fit node in SOPs? I believe you're referring to the magnitude. The magnitude is not a fit node. It's just separating. It's removing the direction from a vector. It's the film roll. Okay, Max Edit says it's a film roll. I'm not sure. I'm a little late in replying to these. Or the red emergency button above your scene graph. Red emergency button. I'm not sure. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I was looking for, this thing. Oh. Ah, the red emergency button. Oh, handy. That's fancy. Well, I learned something new. Learned something during live. That's awesome. Awkward poly. So thank you, Max Edit. Thank you. Awkward poly. Oh, you go into the graph to check how the attribute will be renamed if renamed. There is actually a list on the documents. I can't find that link. I will post it up a little later. Should have made evil glow eyeballs. Ooh, let's do that. You gave me an idea. That's awesome. Let's do that. Because that's not hard. I already have the eyeballs here. Ooh, it's a nice idea. Because it'll look awesome underwater. So this is the eyeballs. Well, to make it glow, we'll just need an emission. Turn the emission 1. What color? Let's do green. Because I don't know. That's what I think of. Now, to make it actual light, emission light, if some of you have seen my LED Vex video, you actually have to come up into the material. So this, turning this parameter only makes it brighter. It doesn't actually make it into an actual light source. There's no bounce, which is not that great. You actually have to enable it. Yeah, the Karma's all about enabling stuff. So you have to put down a render. What was it? I think it was the same one. Render geometry settings. Yeah, the render geometry settings. Here. And in here. We're gonna put /chicken /eyeball. Okay. Now come here. Turn this on. It says treat as light source. So this actually gives you an actual light, not just brightness. I'm gonna go yes and turn all these on. I do find that you have to like max this out. Well, for my LED example, I had to max it out in order to get something nice. We're just gonna turn it on just for now. And then let's see how this looks. Now we still can't see it because he's submerged in this red gulk because we have not gave the water translucency. Oh, that did not happen. Remember to turn off Karma when you turn it into a light source. Otherwise, Houdini will just crash. Okay, I hope I saved. That sucks. That really sucks. That sucks. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm feeling. People are giving me this sad face. Lucas is giving me this sad crying face. That's how I feel right now. Because I'm running out of water. I'm going to get some water. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see some of these comments. Should have I close? Oh, yo. Max edits. Oh, referring to the snapshots. You can export EXR from to. Oh, that's fancy. You can even export EXR from the film roll, from the Karma capturing. That's awesome. Mplate does in Karma. Guni Gilgahim. No, yeah, I know. Flaming burrito. No, I feel the same, Lucas. I feel for you. I understand. I hope I saved. If I didn't, we may have to continue this another session. But we were so close. I really wanted to do the eye glowing. That was a nice idea. Where was it? Here. Okay, it's calculating the fluid density. Go in here. Okay, we got quite a lot. Good thing I'm obsessed with pressing Control S. Okay, let's turn off Karma. Oh my god. Okay, let's see how far we got. Okay, we turned this on and then I Control S. I Control S like every 2 seconds. Good. Oh my god. Okay, there's something wrong with it. Oh, this is not happening. It crashed again. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I think it's a little too heavy. Maybe I'll turn off the light source for now. The chicken's too heavy. The chicken is insane. If you look at the textures for this, it's 2 gigs for the chicken textures. That's one heavy chicken. Oh, it really doesn't like the glowing eyes. You know it's good then. Okay, I'm gonna. Well, there's nothing simming. I'm gonna ignore this. Ignore. Okay, let's turn this off. Hopefully that won't crash. It's hanging. Oh my god, okay. I may have to continue this another day. I don't know what's wrong. Yeah, I think the chicken is really heavy. I may have to lower the textures. Like make this. Oh, there's a low resolution one. Why didn't I use that? I should have used that one. Oh, I really wanted to do the glowing eyes. Darn. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can still continue since I'm obsessed with controlling S. I probably have a backup in here. Which one is that? Oh. Well, why don't I see the one in my... Oh, no, this is the wrong folder. 1 second. Do I have it in the right... Oh, okay, this one. Let's see. Let's backtrack to 201. Would that be it? 201. Let's go back one more. Let's try this. So that backup folder is incredibly handy. Best feature ever. Praying for the autosave. There's autosave? I didn't know if Houdini had autosave. I'm manually autosaving. It's like muscle memory, Control S. Where is that? Let's see. Doesn't it save in the temp folder? I'm not sure. Oh, not always. When it not all crashes go in there. I find that the Karma crashes usually don't. But it's probably because it's coming. The crashes are coming from the GPU, and they can't. It's rather complicated. Oh no. Oh no, that was the wrong file. Sorry. Calculating fluid density. I really should cache that. Okay, yeah, okay, we're back in business. Okay, the glowing eyes will have to come last. It was a really good idea. Too bad. You know what? Let me switch the textures over to the lower res one. Rig, was it chicken low res? Oh yeah, let me, I'll be super quick. It's the same file name, just have to switch. Oh, give me the little arrow. Okay, there it is. Just need to drag this out. Karma flip text. What is it? Chicken low res. Chicken low res slash. Okay. Save this. Okay, let me see if it works though. This I have to test. Oh, we can't see because it's behind the thing, right? Oh, the dilemma. Oh, I don't think it's working. Oop. Do I have the link? It is an incorrect link. Great. color. Oh, I know why. I added the base because my HDA script doesn't recognize the word color. I need the base color because in Substance Painter they call it base color. So I will update my HDA. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we can update this. So I'm just switching it over to the low res. Yeah, okay. Metal. Okay. Normal. Bear with me, just last one. Okay. That should do it. Hopefully it won't crash. Control S. But we'll do the glowing eyes last. Let's turn this water into actual water first. So the chicken's right under there. Let's go to the material library. Let's go to the mesh. And here, let's continue this by going to transmission. Let's making it 1. So you got water right here. This is more realistic looking water. Give it a second to load. However, it doesn't look great because the chicken is toony and the water, it doesn't match, in my opinion. But so what I'm gonna do is pipe this weird looking color ramp into the transmission color, and we're gonna get something even more weird. So that's what we're going for. Now it's too translucent. I think we need more lighting too. I can barely see the chicken. I'm gonna go to specular. I'm gonna turn this down really low, like 0. Too much, too little. 3. And index of refraction 1.3 because that's water. Color, and we don't need dispersion. We can't even see anything. So I'm just gonna go back up and turn the light really, like, crank it up. Water really depends on light in order to make it to control how it looks like. The lighting affects the water a lot. Let me turn this. Okay, I think I need 20. I'm gonna crank it up even higher. You can start to see the chicken, but it looks like a red chicken. I think this is where the glowing eyes would really, really look nice. I'm tempted to turn it back on. But let's give it a normal blue shading first. Okay, let me look at the comments. It's piling up. Awkward poly. I think it's either you do like you do it like that, or you have to use the geolight to get better light scattering. It was talked about in Double Jump VFX Academy or on Solaris Workshop. Ooh, I will take a look at that video. Can you send me a link? Flaming burrito. What's the most you ever lost from a crash? Oh, I can't remember. It crashes quite often, especially the last 2 weeks. It's karma. The most I've ever lost. Mostly when I'm learning though, because when I'm learning, I don't control S as often. But then, you know, it's just learning material. Like when I'm practicing or trying something new. Let's go. Golhima. No, what the? Yeah, that was my feeling too when it crashed. Awkward poly, I just sabotaged the whole stream session with my idea. It's a great idea. Glowing eyes is awesome. Flame burrito. I feel the same, that sad face. Damn green eyes. It's a cool idea. I entered the stream to chill and I'm getting anxious. How do you think I feel? Let's see. Please stay on topic. I do get sidetracked a lot, but I have a lot of cool tips and tricks along the way. So it's good sidetracking. Sim, awkward poly, turn off Karma when it switches to Solaris for no crash. Usually that helps a lot, turning it off, because it's, I don't know what's it doing. It's always computing something, and the GPU and the CPU tend to have a hard time communicating, and when they don't get each other, then, you know, bad things happen. That's the way I look at it. Two heads butting, and then you got two planets exploding. The Karma crash. Yes. I can't take Houdini render engine names. It looks like she is dead. Doesn't water not supposed to have color? Yeah, it is, but I'm going for a toony feel, because the chicken is very toony. Let's control S for no reason at all. Let's give it a shading. Nice color shading now. Instead of the random color. Let's go back to the grayscale. I'm gonna take this black so you can start to see it a little bit more. Instead of black, I'm gonna give it blue. Darker blue. Darker. Even more. You can see I'm going up in the color shading. Okay, this seems okay. This, I'm gonna stay to white. So in the middle, I usually work like that. And then this, move down. Okay, move it up. Just play around with it. This is the fun part, if it doesn't crash. Okay, and this greenish. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's stick with that for now. Okay, Control S. Now I want to show you how to add the fog to add depth, because this right now it's really, it does look like it has depth just because it's not clear. I guess this was too dark. The lowest point on the ramp, which is the slowest velocities of the slowest speed of water, like water in still motion practically. That part is the darkest. We can try and adjust this to something a lighter shade. I find that helps a bit. Not too much. But we can also try adjusting depth. Dispersion, we can add that, but well, I mean, I can't even see the chicken already. I don't know. You add more dispersion. Not helping much. It's just making it more refracted. I can sort of see the chicken legs or wings. Roughness, specular, lower. I think if I really wanted a more clear, oh, I know why. I think the fog is already in there. That's probably why I don't see, because this is completely translucent. I was expecting it to be very clear. Let's turn, okay, I'm gonna turn off the dispersion. So it should be crystal clear. Let me turn off the volume. Okay, yeah, that's really, really clear. But now we're, because the light is way too much. So let's, I cranked it all the way up. Let's go 1. Too little. Let's go 10. I think we have to adjust the color. But you can see that it is more clear. It is super clear right now. Because I took out the volume. So let's go back into the material. Let's adjust that color. Oops. Not this one. Not this one. This one. Yeah, let's adjust this color ramp again. Okay, I'm gonna give it a bit more specular. The depth, turn it back down. Adjust this color ramp. It's getting a lot of green. I'm gonna take this out. I wonder what happened if I... Sorry, I just wanted to try something. Never mind. No, I can't control Z. Okay, there it goes. Okay, there's a lot of refraction. I need better lighting. This is a terrible angle. Okay, let's ditch this, and I'm gonna throw an HDR. Just take this. Yeah, that's a lot better. The HDR is a lot better. And what I like to do is to add a float, because I like the slider. Give it a nice slider. Copy this, and so I can rotate it. This way I can easily rotate it by just tweaking the slider. Okay, let's go back in. And let's give it a nice shading. I think the magnitude is really extreme. It's like it's having a cutoff here. I'm gonna... This is too white. Let's go down here. Okay, that's a bit better. Let's take this out. And let's just go like this. Yeah, that looks a bit better. That's extreme. Okay, I think I'll go with that. So we can see what, because the example I'm trying to show you is that you can see this very clearly. You can see everything really clearly. And I'm going to throw on the volume and show you how the depth will have effect onto this whole thing. So we're going to connect this. And there you go. Let's go into the volume. So this is the pyro shader. Density scale. There's actually a density that comes with... Let me grab that. If we come over here into the water volume, the volume here. Oh, crap. It was in the way. I couldn't find this. Not again. Okay, water volume density. This density, I have trouble accessing this in Solaris, in the material. I find that just grabbing this does not help. Apparently this is, I think this is a field, or it's different from the attributes that I'm grabbing from the actual mesh. The mesh attributes, oh no. Here we go. The mesh attributes that I'm grabbing from here are just nicely, like, they're just slapped on like this, which works fine with the geometry property value in the MTLX. But I find if I use the same way to grab the density, it doesn't work that well. I'm not sure why. In here, they name it, if I can find it. Click the volume. Let's see. I remember it was, here it is, field density. Like this, I have trouble grabbing. So that is something I was still working on. But we can still have some control over this. So I use the density to plug it in. Sorry, since we can't get the density, at least I can't get it right. So I'm not going to use that. This is just the pyro shader slapped on. We still have some control. So once you lower the density, it would have been nice to grab the actual density from the volume primitive itself, because then you have a variety of density going in. Right now, the whole volume has the same unified density. It doesn't look great. It's not great. Like it's nice to have more variety into your shots. But this is a way you can easily control. You can see how the more dense your fog is, the less you can see in the water. And this is how we can add depth to water. This is how you add depth to any scene, actually. This goes into another example I wanted to show you. Adding depth. So here I have a crystal. Give it 1 second. I'm not sure what's calculating. So this part, it's just a very simple shape. And I turn this into a volume. Oh, I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me make this darker. So you can see that this has variety. So this is a solid ISO offset volume. Then I use a volume VOP to add this one. Has the core has the highest density, and then it starts to fade as it gets to the outer edges. This one over here, so I have two versions. This one over here is just randomized density. This one is the one that we're going to render. This one and this one. So let's go in. Well, I already have it set up. Really, I wanted to show you how when you add fog to stuff, it makes things pop. Now this is with the fog. I just need to align the focus. There we go. Okay, turn it back. Okay, now I'm gonna let me remove the volume. So this is adding, oh, let's use that snapshot. So this is snap. Okay, let's add the volume. Let's snap. Let's turn this off. I don't know if you can see. It does make it pop a bit because it has more depth to it. Can I use the keystrokes? Oh, yes. Or sometimes when you add volume to a landscape to make the scene have more depth, you like just different applications on how you can utilize volume in fog. Let's see the comments. Turn off Solaris, no crash. Can't take Houdini under. Doesn't water. Supposed to color. Okay, what are you ramping? This is the velocity. The ramp, the color ramp is driven by the velocity. Do you work? Sort of, I guess. What, like, Lucas is asking if, what do I work on VFX? I guess in learning mode still. Like professionally? No, I've never worked in the industry. It'd be nice to maybe one day, but they have, I don't know, I've heard really scary stories about it having really, really tight deadlines. So I don't really like that, but I mean, I drive myself insane with my own deadlines. Okay. Well, that covered just a small fraction of what I prepared, but I think that about wraps it up. So, does anyone have any other questions about water rendering? I could swear you were working on this. I wish I was. I wish I was. I am trying to get like a short film created. I don't know if anyone has seen, what was that guy's name? Someone had released a short film on the watermelon lady, or was it some watermelon kingdom? And that was really, really, really cool. And then that person's gonna send it off to a film festival, I think. So that sounds really exciting. That's something I would really want to try out one day. But I am having trouble getting mine off the foot, so. Oh, thank you so much, Burrito. It's very kind of you. It was a little hectic in the middle, when Houdini started crashing. I should have used the low res textures. I didn't actually know there was low res textures for the chicken. Oh, we didn't make his eyes glow. Speaking of the chicken. Render geometry settings. Now I'm not gonna plug this in. Let's see. Let's make the eyes grow. That's a very good idea. I'm obsessed with lining these things up. I have no idea why I do that. I must make his eyes glow. Okay, Control S. Now I haven't made it into a light source yet, so I'm not sure if we'll see it. But at least it should turn green. I don't know if it's green. Maybe if I made it red, it's easier to see. I can't tell. Eyeballs. Okay, let's go up. Okay, moment of truth. Chicken? It's actually not hooked up to the anything. So let's just put it here. Okay, yeah, let's do it without the water. And let's turn it into a real life. It's not even green. Oh, it's red in there. Okay, I see it. I think I have to... This is taking the entire chicken. So I have to take the body. So I added a render geometry set for the body of the chicken, which was, you know, it's not working. It's not playing nice with the other render geometry setting on the eyeball. So you have to have it, each primitive assigned to its own individual render geometry setting node. Okay, let's turn moment of truth. I'm getting a little nervous. I don't know why. It's at the end of the thing. It doesn't matter if it crashes. Why am I nervous? Okay, that we can barely see anything. Oh, I need light. Okay, let's see. Where did our chicken go? Oh, I disconnected it. Let's remove the volume so we can see it more clearly. Well, that was melodramatic. Did I assign the eyeballs? Let's see. Assign materials. No, I did not assign the eyeballs. That's why. Okay, that explains a lot. Wonder why it crashed then. Okay, let's assign the eyeballs. Oh yeah, because I removed the water. Volume. Aren't you supposed to be red? Well, it is red, but it's not shiny red. Eyeball. Eyeball? Wait. Assign material. Eyeball. I think I got all the eyeballs, right? Let's look in the eyeball material. Base. Red. That didn't help. Let's give it 10. Oh, you can't. Oh, transmission. Sorry. What am I doing? Oh, I bet everyone's yelling at me in the chat. Emission. Sorry, that's what I wanted. See, this is what happens at like 3 a.m. It's not 3 a.m. right now, but that's what I usually do. Oh, I feel like it's about to crash. Ah, it really doesn't like the glowing eyes. Okay, so I'll have to figure that out. Wow, it really doesn't like the glowing eyes. I was looking forward to that. I was wondering why you can't see the... Oh, let's see. Wait, where am I? I could... Southern boy. Yes, Southern... Yeah, it was called Southern... the person was called Southern something. I can't remember. I was wondering why you can't see the density on the volume. Yeah, that button. Oh, I think you showed the watermelon bit. Yes, I did. I did post it on Discord. Because that was really, really cool. Olivia, can you explain this part again, please? It's in mission. Yeah, mission. I was putting the number in the wrong parameter. Put on CPU first. Oh yeah, I should have put on CPU first. Yes, I should have did that. Better to avoid crash. Well, a little too late now. You changed the transmission sentiment. Yeah, I did. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. My brain goes dead after 2 hours. It's hitting its limit right now. All right. So, which part did you want me to explain? Can you? I'm not sure if I already explained it. Awesome stream. Okay. Yeah. Oh, nearing it. We're nearing the end because my brain's starting to power down. Cool. I hope you guys learned a bit. I hope I didn't make everyone anxious when it started to crash. I certainly got really anxious. I got a little nervous too. On top of what I'm already nervous when doing live. A lot of That's what happens. You have to roll the dice with karma. But I think you'll get better. It can only get better after this. This is really neat that I don't have to port everything from Houdini into another software just to render stuff out. That's what I used to do back in the day. I port everything into Blender because Blender was free. Making Asmar live next time. You always seem calm on live. I do sometimes. Today was very nerve-wracking for some strange reason. Maybe the crash. The crash threw it off. All right. So I'm extremely tired. I don't know about everyone else. I'm just gonna let you guys go. So if you guys have any more ideas for the next stream, leave a comment. Shoot me a message. Find me on Discord. Anything. I'm open to ideas. I mean, I might not get to the topic right away. It takes a lot of time to prepare for these things. I'm actually preparing a longer form video on a more detailed and more structured on rendering water, which will be less nerve-wracking for everyone watching and for me making. But it takes even longer for that. So these streams allow me to get get all my findings. I make a lot of stuff that never see the light of day. So this allows me to get more stuff out there more faster. But it is not very structured. But it's actually good that you can see things crash. Then you can see how I handle it or not handle it well. Things happen. So hope you guys enjoy this. And I'll see everyone in the next one. Yeah, Olivia, that's how I feel too. That crying emoji expresses my feelings to the key.